Okay, the next topic is chapter number 7 called cost accounting systems. Now, in this chapter, generally there are three concepts what you get in your exam. One is non-integrated accounting portion, second one is the integrated accounting portion, and the third one is the reconciliation between the costing and the financial accounting. Now, first, let's try understanding what is accounting system. The moment I say accounting system, I know that I'm going to be recording all the transactions in a particular book. Now, when I'm recording a transaction, that is basically the financial transaction. Now, what do you mean by integrated and what do you mean by non-integrated? When I maintain just one book for both costing and financial accounting, we say it is an integrated accounting. That is, I'm maintaining just one kind of accounting for both costing as well as the financial accounting. Now, what is non-integrated? That means they are two separate accounting. That is, costing is separate and financial accounting is separate. Guys, are you clear? So see here, when cost and financial accounting is integrated, the system is called as integrated accounting, and when you keep the transactions separately, we call them as non-integrated. Now, what is the major thing in the non-integrated accounting system? Guys, this is important because of my third part of the chapter called reconciliation. So look into it. Now, see, in the accounting, what happens is there should be a transaction which involves movement of cash or money's worth. That is something which is non-cash item. That is, let's say you have money, you have purchased goods, you have still not sold it. Have you ever accounted saying that I've spent this much of money on stock? Since I did not sell it, this is the interest I would have lost. I could have kept this money in fixed deposit. Opportunity cost. Have you ever come across recording an opportunity cost in financial accounting? No. Whereas in a non-integrated accounting, we try recording all this notional expenses. The second one is that in terms of a non-integrated accounting, what we do is all the items, that is your balance sheet items, and I want you guys to extremely be careful with what I'm saying now, that we do not have an account called purchases, expenses, or assets or debtors, creditors. All of this are going to be coming into one account called as cost ledger account. For an example, let's say I'm purchasing raw materials. What's the journal entry for purchasing of raw materials? We would have written it as raw materials or purchases account debited to cash account, or purchases account debited to creditors account. So these things, instead of writing cash or creditors, we write it as cost ledger account. So there is nothing called cash, nothing called debtors or creditors. Are you clear? In a non-integrated accounting. Okay, I want you guys to just look into it. I'll tell you why is this important. Let me just try understanding the flow. I'll be using one of a simpler rule of accounting, debit the receiver. Guys, this is extremely important. Credit the giver. Guys, here, debit the receiver, credit the giver. When I say debit the receiver, I am talking, these are all individually my departments. Okay. Now let me try understanding what are these departments first. A material control account is a department which receives raw material. A wage control is basically a department which takes care of the labor cost. My indirect costs which are related to production is going to come to the production overhead. Once I have raw material, wages and production expenses, this goes to my work in progress. Understood till here? So raw materials are going to go to raw material, labor is going to go to wages, indirect expenses are going to go to production. Understood? Once that too, only the production indirect expenses, which are my overheads. Once all these things come together, it goes to work in progress. From work in progress, the moment you add the administration, this becomes my finished goods. Are you clear? From the finished goods, I would have a cost of goods sold, right? From the cost of goods sold, you will add your selling and distribution, which will go to cost of sales. Did you understand till here? I think if you know the cost sheet properly, I think it's pretty much the same. Guys, are you clear till now? Now, let me try understanding how does this accounting work. Okay, now see here, what did I say? Debit the receiver. That means whichever department is receiving, I will debit it. Whichever department is giving out, I am going to be crediting it. If out of this chart, if there are anything which is appearing over more than this chart, everything else will go to the cost ledger control account. Guys, remember this. If you do not have any of these names, any of these names, anything over and above this name is gonna go to what? My cost ledger control. Are you clear? Now let me try understanding what happens. Let's say raw materials purchased 5,000 for cash or for credit. Okay, this is the question. Raw materials of 5,000 rupees purchased for cash or for credit. Okay, now who's receiving it? When you purchase raw materials, which department will receive? Correct? So I'll write debit the receiver, material control, or you can use it as stores ledger control. Which is the department which is giving it? Sudharani. See here, which is the department? Thanks, Amoda. Guys, I told you that I am not using cash or credit. Sudharani, understand? I am not using my cash or credit. Anything which is outside the question, that is whenever there is a cash or the creditor, I told you I'll be using it as cost ledger control account 5,000. Are you clear? Done. Now see here, next one. Okay, next one, materials returned. Materials returned. What will be the journal entry? Materials returned to vendor. Let's say 500. What do you think is going to be the journal entry? Who, when you're returning it, who's the receiver? The vendor. Is the vendor part of my system? The answer is no. Which is the department which is giving it? The department which is giving it is my material control account. So the journal entry becomes cost ledger control account debit to material control. Are you clear? Did you all understand this? Now, the third category of the material question is, let's say spares are purchased, spare parts are purchased. Is this an indirect material? Now, also I'll tell you, the spare parts are purchased for the purpose of production. So I know these are my indirect expenses. Guys, what do you think the journal entry is? Spare purchase for production. Okay. Now, Amoda, Sudharani, Nivedita, now let's try understanding it. Now, please understand what happens. Any material purchased, whether direct or indirect. Now, I want you guys to understand this. The materials, whether I'm purchasing direct or indirect, both of them will be going to the material control only. Both of them will go to what? Material control only. Whatever is a direct material, once it has been received in the material control account, it gets transferred to the production. When I say it gets transferred to the production, we say WIP. Direct materials issued to the production will go to what? WIP account. Are you clear? And all the indirect material for the purpose of production will go to the production overheads account. So what do you think is going to be the journal entry in both the cases? For the first case, when direct materials are issued for the production, the journal entry will become work in progress account debit, work in progress account debit, to material control, because the receiving department is work in progress, and in this case it's going to become what? Production overheads account debit to material control or store ledger control. Guys, again I'm saying you can use material control or store ledger control, anything is fine. Are you clear? Guys, are you clear till now? Done? Now see here, there are other categories too. What are the other categories? The other categories is, let's say I am buying specific raw materials. Specific raw materials for a specific job. Whenever I am buying specific raw materials for a specific job, what happens is, I don't bring it to the material and then transfer it to work in progress. I will directly transfer it to work in progress account. So the journal entry will become work in progress account debited to cost ledger control account. Did you understand this? Done? Next one. Now the same thing, let's try looking into it. Wages paid. What's going to be your journal entry? Wages paid. What's going to be your journal entry? Correct. Wage control. Done. Now wages transferred for work in progress. Correct. Thanks, Suresh. That's going to be WIP account debited to wage control. Now, indirect expenses, indirect wages, what happens? Indirect expenses for the purpose of production. Indirect expenses for the purpose of production. Guys, what's going to be the journal entry? Production overheads control account debit to wage control. Are you clear? Guys, are you clear? Now, let's try understanding this. What if I say direct expenses incurred? What if I say direct expenses are incurred? Okay, what is going to be a journal entry for direct expenses incurred? Superb. Any direct expense, thank you Amoda, it's going to be WIP to cost ledger control. Done. Now I'll give you certain examples, look into it. I'll give you certain examples, look into it. I have my indirect wages incurred, and this indirect wages I have to transfer it to the administration overheads. What do you think is going to be the journal entry? I have indirect What do you think? First, indirect wages. What do you think? Correct. The first journal entry will become wage control to cost ledger control. From there, it will go on to the administration overheads control to wage control. Now, what if I say rent incurred? What if I tell you a transaction that rent incurred? What would be your journal entry? Rent incurred. See, when I say rent, now you have to understand, is it factory rent or is it office rent? If it is factory rent, it is gonna go to production overheads to CLC. Whereas if it is office rent, it will go to administration overheads to CLC. Guys, are you all clear? Done? So I want you guys to just focus on this part of the chart, because this is extremely important for me for getting my accounting done. Are you clear? Are you guys clear? This flow is extremely important for me. I'll do one question. I want you guys to try out the second question back home. Okay. Guys, let me understand the question now. These things are my opening balance? We'll see later. Let me try understanding this according to the flow. When will finished product come? Let's see this. Finished goods are going to be coming from what? Work in progress. So when I say finished product at cost, I know that the finished product is generating from my WIP. Are you clear? My finished product is generating from my WIP. Are you guys clear? So what is going to be a journal entry, friends? Guys, what's going to be a journal entry? Finished product is getting received. So finished goods account debit. Are you clear? Second one, manufacturing overheads incurred. Manufacturing overheads incurred. What is going to be manufacturing overheads is which one? Thank you. The journal entry becomes production overheads correct. 91. What about the third one? Raw material purchased. What's going to be a journal entry? Guys, raw materials purchased. What's going to be a journal entry? Correct. Material control. To cost ledger control 1,23,000. Next one, factory wages. Guys, factory wages. Sudharani, cost ledger. What do you mean by factory wages? You are incurring wages, so you will never have a cost ledger control, madam. It's going to be wage control because you are incurring wages. Wage control account debited to cost ledger control account. Are you clear? Sudharani, are you clear? So, factory wages, see here, factory wages are direct wages. So, the journal entry becomes wage control to CLC 50,530. Then, since it's a direct wage, I'll write it as work in progress account debited to wage control 50,530. Are you clear? Guys, are you clear? Now, what do you think is going to be the journal entry for indirect labor? What's going to be the journal entry for indirect labor? Okay, Shreyas, first always I have to record for indirect labor incurred and then I have to transfer to the production overheads. Remember this. First always I have to record it and then I will be transferring it to the production overheads. So the first thing I told you guys at the explanation, whether direct wages or indirect wages, first you have to incur it and only then you can transfer it to the production overheads or the administration overheads or the selling or distribution. Are you guys clear? So the journal entry will become first wage control to cost ledger control account. From here, I'll transfer it to my production overheads. Understood? Now next one. Cost of sales. Now see here, cost of sales. In lot of cases we skip this. We directly move from finished goods to cost of sales because there's just one entry. This is, if you see, there is nothing which is getting added or subtracted here. So I can always skip this and directly come in, or else I'll have to move from finished goods to cost of goods sold. From there I have to move to cost of sales, not required. So which is the department which is giving here for when I say cost of sales? Which is the department which is coming here for cost of sales? Cost of sales account debit to finished goods. Materials issued to the production is going to be what? Work in progress to material control. Then sales returned at cost. Sales returned at cost is going to be from cost of sales. You will be transferring it as goods have come back for it, so it should go back to the finished goods. Remember this, whenever sales returns are at cost, the journal entry becomes finished goods to cost of sales. Understood? Next one, material return to production. What is going to be materials return to production? Sorry, materials returned to suppliers. That is from your material control, it is gonna go to supplier. So supplier is receiving. So it becomes cost ledger control account debit to material control. Are you clear? Done. The last one, material overhead charge to production. Overhead charge to production. That means what? Charge to production means WIP, manufacturing overhead. So WIP account debited to production overheads account. Are you clear with all the journal entries? Anything you guys want me to explain? Guys, today let's not do ledger accounts. Let's just try looking into it. Guys, are you clear? Let's look into another question just for the journal entries. Ledger accounts, we'll do it a little later. I want you guys just to focus on the journal entries today. All are ledger accounts only. Cool. We'll see you guys tomorrow then. I want you guys to just go back and recap all the theoretical part. We'll do the practical ledger accounts tomorrow.